Marie, what's happening? Why am I here?
It starts the same way every nightmare does in the world of Vought, with something innocent, a scream, a drop of blood. A girl realizes that the thing she's terrified of isn't a monster in the dark, it's herself. That's where Marie Moreau's story began. The bathroom, the panic, the accident that made her an orphan. But for years, fans have whispered about the part of her origin story that never made sense.
I spent a lot of time looking for Annabeth. Have you heard from her at all?
No.
Her little sister, the one she left behind, the one Vought never talked about. Now, in Gen V Season 2, the truth about that missing sister doesn't just change Marie's past, it redefines everything about the universe of the boys. And the reveal? It's not what anyone expected. First, the blood connection. From the moment Marie's powers manifested, her life was tied to blood. Not just metaphorically, but literally. Her ability isn't just telekinesis. It's biological control. She can manipulate hemoglobin like it's an extension of her will. Every drop becomes a thread, every heartbeat a song she can conduct. But the secret is that Marie's power doesn't just belong to her. It was shared. In Season 1, the show danced around the mystery. How could one child in a small non-Vought family develop a compound V mutation without the parents knowing? And why was her sister never seen again, even after Marie was taken to the Red River Institute? The answer, Season 2 suggests, is terrifyingly simple. Marie wasn't the only one injected. Second, the sister that survived flashbacks in Season 2 revealed glimpses, flashes of a hospital room, a trembling child's hand, and a white bandage soaked red. The camera lingers not on Marie but on another girl, Marie Moreau. Her eyes move differently, like she's seeing the world in reverse. And when Marie's powers activate for the first time, cutting through her parents in a panic, Annabeth doesn't scream, she feels it. That's the first clue. Annette's body reacts like it's being torn apart in sync with her sister's outburst. The blood flow, the pain, even the pulse rate, identical.
Annabeth, you killed them.
They get sent to the Vought adult facility in Elmira.
And when Vaught's cleanup team arrives to contain the scene, their scanners pick up something strange. 2 compound V signatures from the same genetic base. Annabeth didn't die that night, she was taken. Third, Project Mirror Blood. According to files glimpsed on Cypher's surveillance feed, Annabeth was relocated to a Vought research lab in upstate New York, the same experimental wing that later evolved into the Woods. Her case name, Project Mirror Blood. The goal was to study genetic resonance, how shared DNA could create linked mutations. Annabeth became a living mirror to her sister's ability, reflecting and amplifying it through emotional states. When Marie felt fear, Annabeth felt rage. When Marie bled, Annabeth healed. When one experienced pain, the other's body compensated, a psychic biofeedback loop. But Vought, being Vought, couldn't leave it there. They decided to separate the sisters permanently, believing the link could make one of them controllable and the other weaponizable. Marie was sent to Red River, conditioned to suppress her empathy. Annabeth was kept in the lab, reshaped into something colder. By the time we meet her again in Season 2, Episode 5, she's not Annabeth anymore. She's Scarlet, a living biological weapon whose blood can infect others, rewriting their DNA to mimic temporary V powers, a viral echo of what Dean Shetty once tried to create. And she's working with Cypher. Fourth, Cypher's perfect weapon. Remember Cypher, the soupe who manipulates emotional perception? His gift is rewriting the meaning behind an experience. He doesn't erase memories, he changes what they feel like. So why would someone like him need Scarlet? Because Cypher can manipulate minds, but he can't touch biology. He can't rewrite physical truth, only emotional truth. Scarlet, however, can make those emotional truths manifest physically. Her bloodstream is basically a chemical storytelling engine. Inject a drop, and she can make someone's power, or personality, echo what she wants them to become. Together, Cypher and Scarlet form a horrifying synthesis. He writes the emotion, and she programs the biology. And that's why Marie's existence matters. She's the key to stabilizing Scarlet's power. Without Marie's blood signature, Scarlet's mutations spiral out of control. Victims literally drown in their own cells. So while Scarlet works with Cypher, she's also dying. And Cypher's trying to save her. But to do that, he needs Marie. Fifth, the clues we missed. If you go back to Gen V Season 1, there are hints. In Episode 7, when Marie's blood responds to Kate's psychic surge, it doesn't just react. It splits into two distinct flows, like twin signals overlapping. For a few frames, you can even hear two separate heartbeats in the sound mix. It's subtle, but deliberate. Even her nightmares in Season 1, the ones showing flashes of a small girl behind glass, weren't random trauma echoes. They were memory bleed. Because when Annette's link was forcibly severed, fragments of her perception remained trapped in Marie's subconscious. Season 2 picks up on that idea, showing Marie's powers becoming unstable, her blood moving even when she doesn't will it. It's not her losing control, it's Scarlet calling her. Every pulse Marie feels, every sudden drop of blood that escapes her body unprovoked, is a psychic beacon, a breadcrumb trail leading her back to her sister. Sixth, the emotional core but Gen V's is never just about powers. It's about trauma, the way abuse and grief mutate into something monstrous. So the reunion between Marie and Scarlet isn't the triumphant sister moment fans might expect. It's haunting. When they finally meet, the scene plays out like a mirror cracked down the center. Scarlet speaks calmly, almost mechanically, as if every sentence was pre-written by Cypher himself. She tells Marie, "You've got to grow up free. I gotta grow up useful." And Marie, horrified, realizes the cost of her survival. Every drop of blood she's shed, every fight she's fought, has been felt by her sister somewhere else. The guilt that drove Marie to become a hero was literally built into her DNA. Scarlet, meanwhile, sees Marie as the source of her suffering, the sister whose empathy killed their parents, whose survival sentenced her to a life of pain. She doesn't want to kill Marie, she wants to merge with her, to become one being again, to restore the balance that Vought broke, and that's when Cypher intervenes. Isn't to reunite them emotionally, it's to weaponize the event. When the sisters' bloodlines merge, even for a second, it creates a ripple, a harmonic resonance that destabilizes all Compound V in the area. In other words, he could wipe out every Supe within a mile radius. But Cypher hesitates, not because of morality, but because Halcyon, the Supe from Black Site Theta, warned him what would happen if he tampered with linked souls. Their deaths could trigger a narrative collapse, a metaphysical chain reaction erasing everyone whose powers were influenced by Marie's lineage. That includes Starlight. So Cypher changes the plan. He manipulates Scarlet into believing Marie betrayed her, ensuring they'll fight instead of merge, creating chaos but preserving the status quo. Marie doesn't know it yet, but in that moment Cypher saved the world, and damned it. Because Scarlet doesn't die, she fractures. Half her consciousness bleeds into Marie's blood. The other half escapes through Cypher's psychic network, a ghost in the machine, meaning Scarlet is now everywhere. Eighth, the blood in the system. By the time the credits roll on Season 2, we see it, subtle, brilliant storytelling. Random Supes begin to exhibit slight echo effects in their powers, glowing veins, involuntary bleeding, and flickers of déjà vu. It's not random. It's Scarlet's essence diffusing through the Vought supply chain. The sister Marie lost is now literally in everyone. And that sets up the most chilling premise for The Boys Season 5 yet. A world where Vought's greatest weapon isn't Homelander, or Soldier Boy, or even Compound V. It's blood memory, an inherited trauma that links every Supe to one origin, one act of violence, and one girl's scream. Ninth, the emotional ending. The final scene of Season 2 mirrors Marie's beginning. She's in front of a mirror, staring at her reflection. But now her reflection speaks back. Not Kate. Not Emma. Not a hallucination. Scarlet. And her voice isn't angry anymore. It's sad. She says, "They made us forget, but the blood never did." That's the moment Marie realizes what Cypher meant in his last message. The blood remembers. Her power was never just about control. It was about connection. Every person she's ever touched, saved, or fought, their blood carries echoes of her. And now, through her sister's sacrifice, she carries theirs. Marie's story stops being about redemption and starts being about inheritance, the cost of being the living archive of every pain Vought ever caused. 10th, what it means for the future. So what does this mean for Gen Van the Boys? 1. Marie's blood is now the anchor of the Vought universe. Her lineage ties together every strain of Compound V. If she dies, the balance collapses. If she evolves, she could rewrite what being a Supe means. 2. Scarlet is alive and not fully gone. She's fragmented across multiple hosts, slowly influencing Vought from within. Every soup infected with Compound V now has a faint emotional link to her, like a shared consciousness that could one day wake up. 3. Cypher's motives are bigger than survival. His alliance with Scarlet was part of a larger plan to expose Vaught's manipulation of emotional DNA. By merging the sisters' stories, he's created living proof that Supes aren't born evil, they're written that way. 4. The boys will finally learn the truth about Vaught's first experiment. Red River wasn't the beginning. The Moreau sisters were. They represent the first case of Compound V reacting to empathy, not aggression. Their power was born from love twisted into horror. And that's the grand irony. Vought tried to make gods out of fear, but their most powerful creation came from love. And that's the grand irony. Vought tried to make gods out of fear, but their most powerful creation came from love. The last word, the blood, remembers. If Season 2 of Gen V truly reveals what happened to Marie's sister, it's not just a missing person story. It's a parable about connection, how trauma passes down, how pain echoes, and how even in a world built on lies, some truths refuse to die. Marie Moreau isn't just a survivor anymore, she's the living heartbeat of a broken world, the one reminder that even when everything else is rewritten, blood still tells the truth. And somewhere in that truth, in every pulse, in every heartbeat that doesn't quite sound right, Scarlet is still whispering, "You can't kill what remembers you." And just like that, the blood moves again. Because in General V, death isn't the end. It's the beginning of another story that Vought swore we'd never hear.